In the heart of the Middle East lies a nation torn apart by war, a leader whose name sparks both loyalty and outrage, and a story that is far more complex than it seems. Today, we unravel the enigma of Bashar al-Assad, Syria's polarizing president. Who is he, and how did he become one of the most controversial figures of our time? Bashar Hafez al-Assad was born on September 11, 1965, into one of Syria's most powerful families. His father, Hafez al-Assad, had risen through military ranks to seize the presidency in 1971, creating a legacy of authoritarian rule. But Bashar wasn't groomed to follow in his father's footsteps. He was the quiet, studious child pursuing a career in medicine. In the 1990s, Bashar was living in the UK training as an ophthalmologist. His older brother, Basil, was the heir apparent, the charismatic military officer poised to take over the Assad dynasty, but fate intervened. In 1994, Basil's death thrust Bashar into a role he never sought. Almost overnight, the quiet doctor became the reluctant politician. Groomed by his father and party elites, Bashar would return to Syria and begin his transformation. In 2000, Hafez al-Assad's death opened the door for Bashar to rise to power. Initially, there was hope. The young leader promised reforms, a modernized Syria, and greater freedoms, a stark contrast to his father's iron grip. But optimism faded quickly. When opposition voices grew louder, the government responded with arrests and censorship. The reformer many had hoped for began to mirror the authoritarian methods of his father. Everything changed in 2011. Inspired by the Arab Spring, Syrians took to the streets demanding change. Bashar al-Assad faced his greatest challenge yet. What started as peaceful demonstrations soon spiraled into a bloody conflict. Assad's government was accused of brutal crackdowns, war crimes, and even the use of chemical weapons, a claim he vehemently denies. The civil war devastated the country, leaving millions displaced and over 500,000 dead. But Assad found powerful allies, backed by Russia and Iran. He managed to cling to power, defying predictions of his regime's collapse. The Syrian civil war became a proxy battleground for global powers, and Bashar al-Assad remained at its center. Today, Bashar al-Assad is both reviled and revered. To his supporters, he is a symbol of stability and resistance against Western interference. To his critics, he is a ruthless dictator responsible for unimaginable suffering. But things have changed now. 13 years of brutal conflict have brought Syria to the brink of a new chapter. In a dramatic turn of events, opposition forces led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham have advanced from Homs into the very heart of Damascus. Reports suggest that the Assad regime has effectively fallen and that the Syrian military leadership has informed its forces of the collapse. Adding to the uncertainty, Russian state media confirmed that Bashar al-Assad and his family have arrived in Moscow under Kremlin protection. Russia has reportedly granted asylum, signaling the end of an era for Syria's embattled leader. Syrian Prime Minister Mohammed Ghazi al-Jalali has issued a call for unity, declaring his readiness to work with any government chosen by the people. Meanwhile, the streets of Damascus are under strict curfew as opposition leaders try to stabilize the city. While the world watches Syria's unfolding crisis, tensions remain high. Israel has bombed a key research facility in Damascus, long suspected of being linked to Iran's missile program. The Israeli military, however, has refrained from further direct involvement, deploying forces to a buffer zone near the Syrian border. With Assad's departure and regional powers eyeing opportunities, Syria's future hangs in the balance. Will the nation find unity in this power vacuum, or will it descend into further chaos? One thing is clear. The story of Syria is far from over. No matter what happens, the Assad family is written in Syrian history and will continue to be talked about for years to come. I hope everything goes well for the Syrian people because the opposite is also possible. Do these dramatic developments mark the beginning of peace or another episode of chaos? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis of global events.